Hi, my name is Andrew. Thank you for visiting my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to review a fundraising investor database case study for a client in the manufacturing sector. If you watch my previous videos, you know that you can click my Fiverr link below to get information on investor databases for venture capital, private equity, angel groups, family investment offices, and more. I also help clients with pitch deck reviews. If you're getting ready to send your pitch deck out to investors, I have a service on Fiverr where I will help you review it. About 80% of the pitch decks that I receive are not suitable to be sent out to investors. And individual sector databases are now free with the pitch deck review. So that means that this database that I'm going to show you in this video is actually free if you've ordered a pitch deck from me, which allows you to hit the ground running in your fundraising. So contact me for more details on this new feature. This video highlights a comprehensive database of manufacturing investors I recently created for a Canada-based client. So what is this client looking for? This client is looking for $2.5 million. They are in the manufacturing sector and they already have a operation up running and income to support this fundraising. That's a large amount of money to be fundraising for. They're looking in the USA because they have already done a fair bit of searching in Canada, and there's not a lot of potential in Canada for them at this time. Their database source that I'm going to be using is manufacturing, but I'm also going to look at growth capital, and we'll get into that in later slides. They'd like to have around 250 contacts if possible. So how do I find these contacts? I have a master database of over 400,000 contacts, and that includes new contacts I've recently added as we sit here in September 2023, including venture capital, private equity, angel investors, family investment offices, hedge funds. I also have a very large database of high net worth and ultra high net worth investors, and that database is only for certain clientele. So what did the final database include? The total contacts I was able to find were 115 plus 35 in growth capital. Emails ended up being about 55 total, and websites ended up being about 150. And that includes key contacts with titles and email addresses for some of the contacts. So what type of contacts will benefit from a manufacturing investors database? Manufacturers are not typical when it comes to fundraising. Most fundraising is tech startups, and this just happens to be a firm that's kind of in the middle of their life cycle. But to start emerging market startups, established manufacturers, so that covers this particular client, supply chain and logistics providers, industrial automation companies, specialized component producers, or green manufacturing initiatives. So it really depends. Whenever I do database searches in these videos, it's usually looking at a very small portion of the total database that they're going to end up getting, but it's a very niche sector, and this one certainly falls within that as well. So for this client, I've actually suggested that they look at growth capital investor database. So how can a growth capital investor database help this client? For expansion, manufacturing firms looking to increase production capacity, whether by enlarging current facilities. So this is a opportunity then for them to look at firms and funds that specialize in groups that have already created an infrastructure, already have customers, already have income, and more than likely have already raised funds in the past. So it can help through diversification as well, technological advancements. This firm has been in the manufacturing, but it's kind of a high-tech manufacturing. They've been in operation for about 4 years, so there has been some additions and some improvements in technology. They can take advantage of that by raising capital to upgrade some of their machinery. Strategic acquisitions. A manufacturing firm might identify a strategic opportunity to acquire a competitor in its supply chain. That happens a lot. And working capital boost. So those are the reasons why this particular client in the manufacturing sector can use Growth Capital Database to help them with their fundraising. So let's take a look at the database. So all my database searches start on this dashboard, and as you can see here I have 252,000 contacts, and again that's venture capital, private equity, hedge funds, family investment offices, and investment banks, everything that has to do with raising capital. And it is an updated database that has not only emails but LinkedIn's in some cases. And for example, if I were to start off with just a simple search of tech and not hit any country or city, then I'm going to come up with 4,455 contacts. If I wanted to narrow that down a bit, for example, let's say somebody was specifically looking for New York as the city, then I would have 217 contacts to take a look at in that case, and then I would simply go here, take a look at the see results, and I could export the search results onto an Excel spreadsheet. So that's how I start off with all my searches for my clients. So now we're over on the database section, and as you can see here I've got both manufacturing and growth capital contacts. So in the manufacturing sector, which was used to be the key word when doing the screening, we ended up with about 115 contacts. And again, although the group is located in Canada, it is an international product that they manufacture, and not only manufacture, but it's also used all over the world. So they can look in, for example, United Kingdom, United States, Japan. They can look very far into Europe for funding. It doesn't really matter in this case. And as far as the types that are here, you're going to see private equity and venture capital come up in most of them, and of course venture capital funds. In some cases you're going to get their LinkedIn and emails. All cases you're going to get the website, and again I used manufacturing on this one as the key word, and you can see there's going to be a little bit of sector information as well. Now in this case, because it is a manufacturing company, this is their second round of funding, they're already in operation, they're selling, they have good income, and they're looking for $2.5 million. I've suggested that they also look in the United States for growth capital, and these are the groups here that will look at it. There's around 35, and it includes key contact names as well. So this will help them make contacts and spread out their opportunity to try to raise capital and make connections. So this is how I have used both the sector database and a growth capital database to help this Canada-based client raise $2.5 million for their fundraising efforts. Are you looking for updated investor databases? My databases include venture capital, private equity, family offices, angel investors, angel groups, and high net worth investors with over 400,000 verified global contacts. And be sure to check out my full database of family investment offices, the perfect way to access ultra high net worth investors. This is the largest database of family investment offices that you're able to access. There's over 10,000 contacts. Click my Fiverr link below for more information. Thank you for watching this video.